Who that gonna get their asses kicked? The Saints are coming to Minnesota. The Loki and Jabroni show is live on Monday Night Football. Why did they do this to me? Opening night, Vikings start their march to home field Super Bowl. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I got to thank my man Eric Mitchell for bringing this freaking heavy-ass shit. I've been holding this for 5 minutes, and it's like heading down my shoulders. Guys, Loki and Jabroni show. We talked about football last week. We'll talk about the first week coming at you. Sit down. Man up. Loki and Jabroni coming at you like Smith hitting Peterson.
The real champions won this week. Your team is on their way to winning this week, God willing. Blow the horn if you would, just one time. Okay, that didn't sound great. Much better. And the goat ended up on his ass Thursday night.
Real bad.
Welcome to the Loki and Jabroni show. I am the world heavyweight champion. My name is Jabroni. In the seat to my immediate right,
the Portugal Viking, Loki, in the house, and so are the Vikings Monday night as we record. Guys, this is going to get bad.
We've got it on the big screen TV right over there here in Valhalla Entertainment Complex. If you can see this beautiful piece of gorgeousness on my shoulder, brought to you by our guest this week. He'll be in a little while. His name is Eric B. Mitchell. You've seen him. You've heard him. You love him, and he loves us, so we're going to talk about it.
Yes.
So, well, I mean, we already referenced it. Week one, it's been a fantastic week. A lot of good games. Someone failed to tell the Giants that they had a game last night.
I think the Cowboys tweeted him.
What, was that the case?
Timeout.
We're getting a timeout for two?
Haven't used this in a while.
Uh-oh.
Oh, we triggered him.
Already? Already we've triggered you. Already you're hurting?
Oh, the sports.
Oh, sports talk. See, usually we get the cue for this. Now he's like, wait, stop!
No.
You took my
Well, all right.
I got to say this.
What do you got?
Bud Light.
Oh, in a Viking can.
Yeah, this was actually in singles.
Where'd you get it?
I was at a package store.
No
You know how they sell
shit.
singles. I saw the purple can. I was like, what the hell is that over
If
there?
you see a Falcon one, pick it up. I won't drink it. I might save that shit till it... Well, it's already skunky. I was going to say till it turns skunky.
Yeah, I was gonna
I'm going
say.
to pass this back over to you and or Eric B. Mitchell.
Oh, yes, I will.
Nice sports thingy. We've been running that for a long time. However, we haven't run it in a long time. So that's that. Someone failed to tell the Giants they had a game. Who fired up the Bears this weekend, and how bad are the Saints going to fall? These are questions I want you to answer.
I told you earlier, Dallas tweeted the Giants. That's not their fault that they don't read that shit.
Okay.
The Saints are going to open like they're going to close, like a weak fart. And what was the other one?
Who actually fired up the Bears to almost be competitive this week?
I told you that new quarterback was going to do some stupid shit.
They didn't
man.
even start Trubisky. They started Mike Glennon from Tampa Bay. They picked him up a week ago. And he was really good. What a game I watched.
I guess somebody saw that.
It's unfortunate.
I saw Gronk doing a whole lot of nothing.
What jersey is Jabroni wearing? Mike let me wear this for the day. It's a Army football jersey. Big ups to the Army folk. Everybody's spilling their shit but me. Okay.
That's why I was surprised it didn't break.
All right. Well, that's the jersey I'm wearing for now, is the Army football team. Army strong, always and forever. You heard Mike blow the horn. We talked about the Minnesota Vikings. He hijacked every team what we talked about last week, Minnesota talk, and I'm going to ask him one more time, keys to the game tonight for your Vikings. How do they take away the victory?
First of all, defense. You got to make your coach proud. You got to listen to what he says. I like how Harry the Hitman Smith talked about how weak our last game was in preseason? I love when leaders.
God. He's commenting on preseason?
Yeah, but there should be some fire in the last game. First of all, most of your guys are playing 3 quarters.
Yeah.
At that point, your starters are getting a good amount, so they get some reps in there, and you know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And they were still kind of lackadaisical. Like I said before, they were kind of like living in the moment. They're still kind of like this Bridgewater thing, and they need to get their heads in football. They got to get their heads in football. For the Saints to take it, Adrian Peterson's got to be exactly what he says he is all day. They got to let him play, and he's got to break away. If he breaks away...
We talked about it before we went on. The quote this morning was, I hope I don't piss my old team off by getting 200 yards and 2 scores.
Yeah, he's not getting 200 yards against this defense. I'll tell you that right now. Not unless they fucking throw the other kid in. Then he might actually get like $150. And then if you add Adrian's 50 yards, that might be 200.
Possibly.
That's might. You know
Possibly.
what I'm saying?
I'm not a fan of your team, except for tonight. And other times, but Adrian Peterson's talking a lot of junk.
I love when people do that. I do, because usually it shuts them up. And real quick, can I just say, Raiders, not very impressive. Not too impressive. I love how they put Cordell Patterson at wide receiver, and they see exactly what we saw. He just kind of sits out there and just hopes you throw. Don't throw it to stone hands.
Right? He was the kid in, what movie was it? Like The Waterboy or, the football movie.
Necessary Roughness.
Thank you. Don't throw it to stone hands. Number 88. I remember that. What a great fucking movie that was.
He freaking had the flashbacks because he was always throwing it to the dummy in the freaking yard.
Kathy Ireland was
never. Oh my God, she was hot.
Oh, did she age well? Do we have pictures of her somewhere?
We should find her. That's a good idea. We should definitely twat her.
That doesn't sound right.
That sounds awesome. It really does. What else was surprising? Obviously Chiefs came out and exploded. One of the biggest ass whippings the Patriots have taken during the Belichick era.
Right.
Period.
And I like the fact that there was a Chiefs fan that I know that came out, and I know he said it to kind of get under my skin, but I was like, you know what, you're absolutely right. He's like, the Patriots really pulled the Falcons there. Because I'll be honest, I didn't watch a lot of that game. I watched the highlights.
They really weren't too good in the beginning either.
The Patriots, they had a lead going into the half, and they took their foot off the gas. You cannot, in the National Football League, take your foot off the gas.
got the bejesus knocked out of him.
Not my fucking problem.
So they lost him. Yeah, but I'm just saying, they lost him halfway through. So,
right.
Oh, look at this. Saints, Vikings. The only person that says Saints is Charles. Charles, you're a fucking idiot, all right?
Susie Colbert, Steve, Randy, Matt all picked the Vikings. In the late game, it's Broncos, Chargers, Broncos. Wow, 3 picking the Chargers.
Wow. I don't see Chargers doing squat this year. I told you they're my 3-13 team.
And I don't see ESPN drug
testing. Jets are my other 3-13 team.
I don't see ESPN drug testing, because who's going to pick the Chargers against the Broncos?
Not going to happen.
Osweiler's going to get hot. This is his time.
All right, so the other surprise, I did have one more that I was. It sucks, not having your phone. That's how I usually look at my highlights and all my updates and shit like that. I literally had to go onto the TV and watch commercials.
Oh my God!
Yeah, and SportsCenter.
I used to love SportsCenter.
I used to too. I used to wake up and drink coffee and watch that shit all the time.
Because now it's an hour-long Tom Brady commercial.
No, you're right.
Seriously,
about that. You are right about that.
The Falcons beat the Bears this weekend, and Tom Brady scratched his nuts.
Indianapolis getting beat by L.A.
Yes.
Not only getting beat, but getting chumped,
decimated.
Dude. Getting chumped.
So that's Kathy Ireland now?
46.
Hot shit, bro.
Damn. Hot shit. Going down, baby. Both feet in the range.
How old?
Boom, boom.
54. She looks great. And you know who else looks good for being 107? Christy Brinkley.
I'll buy Christy Brinkley.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm
hot shit.
out there. Lions kicker done for the season, torn ACL and MCL.
Oh, that sucks. I don't feel bad for
the Lions. The Lions are going to be a 5-11 team. Doesn't matter. They surprised me this weekend too. The Lions played a fucking tough game.
Jags surprised
Holy
people.
Jaguars, Batman!
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Can I just say I definitely did not see them playing the way that so they surprised the shit out of me.
Right.
Jets beating the Bills, though. So, I know that the Jets are right on their way to pulling that crap off. So.
Right. So they're going to get their 2-14 season.
No,
so
3-13.
3-13? All right. In case you guys missed it, I know I mentioned it briefly. Falcons won. It was a nail-biter. Who saw the Bears coming like this? But we talked about it in the preview, how this is the year the Bears are going to start to come up. It's not a joke anymore. The Bears for the last 3-4 years have been a joke. Since that Super Bowl appearance against the Colts, I don't know how many years ago, 2006, 2005, someone's going to get on the Google machine and tell me what year it was. They have not looked good. Even their, if they inch close to 500, they still shit the bed in the big opportunity, which is interconference play, Vikings, Packers, Lions.
Oh, yeah.
You have to take advantage of those opportunities, which is where the Falcons really shined last year at 12-4. They took advantage of the interconference opportunity to beat the Bucs, to beat the Saints, to beat the Panthers, to at least, in one case, I think it was with the Panthers, they split the season series, but that second game in December, 44-0, to stamp their ticket to the playoffs and eventually the Super Bowl, no joke. That's when you knew it was real. And you heard me the first 8 weeks. This defense has to grip things.
Of course,
they have to shear it up.
Miami and fucking queers aren't playing because the hurricane.
Yeah, the
it is kind of funny how they both kind of had the same week off, the same bye week. So they're just going to move it to that bye week, and they get a bye week this week. Is that an unfair advantage for these guys?
Absolutely not. I don't think. Again, we talked about Miami last week being a downgrade because of Jay Cutler.
Right.
The Buccaneers are going to bubble. I did pick them to be second in our division behind the Falcons. I don't think it's an unfair advantage at all. I think because you lose your bye. But think about it like this: they're going to play 16 straight weeks with no bye week now.
Some teams get hot, and I'm saying some people have their bye week. They have like 4 games where they suck balls, and then they come back from the bye week and they're on fire.
The worst culprits.
Sometimes the opposite. They have 8 games where they go straight. They last week or last year for the Vikings, we won 5 in a row.
They were on my list.
Those 5, come back from a bye, lose 4 in a row.
Yep, I was going to say Falcons, Vikings, Lions, Raiders. After the bye week, that first 2-3 weeks were very suspect because they lose their focus, they lose their determination.
And that's what I'm saying. Do you keep the determination?
This past year was the year where after the bye week, and this is where I'm going to hijack the point, the Falcons really turned it on. I don't know what Dan Quinn said to them, but as we were inching closer to the end of the season, I told you guys and all you guys listening, this team's for real. And they came out and showed they were for real this week. They had the same high-powered offense. The defense still a little suspect, but better than they were last year. Giving up 17 points is a lot better than giving up 32 points and trying to win when you're giving up 32 points. Great graphic on the screen yesterday during the game. First half of the season, the Falcons were 27th, 26th, 29th, and 21st in defense. After the break, the last 8 games, they were 3rd, 5th, 4th, 7th, and 9th in those defensive categories. They were first the entire year in offense. So and they brought back almost everybody. There are no real new additions to this team. This week was a great week for football, and I'm glad that was on your mind.
Absolutely.
It's on your mind now because we're looking at live from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Hope Tommy's watching.
I did have one more thing that I kind of want to throw out before we bring our guest in and start our normal topic, which is actually a really good point, which was brought up to you halfway through this week.
Yep.
But our very own Mr. Eddie Fuckus joined this thing recently.
Oh, God.
An app where people can anonymously leave their thoughts about you. And, it got me thinking, and I did kind of comment on it, but I wanted to make this publicly known on the show as well.
Oh, God.
In a time where we're really, really bad at communication as it is.
Didn't we not bring this up Saturday night?
And that's what I'm saying. Right. In a time where we're really bad at communication as it is already, to make it even harder. Now let me just put this in perspective for some of you guys out there. Say tomorrow, because with these hurricanes going on out there and all this other shit, and Lady J will tell you she's like, it's going to be the end of days. It's that movie. What was it? What movie did that one of those? Not End of
Knowing,
Days, but
or End of Days.
She's screaming from over there.
The Perfect Storm.
Either the Perfect Storm or like Day After Tomorrow. That's it.
Ernest Goes to Camp.
So, anyways. She's this Day After Tomorrow thing. She's like, what if it's Day After Tomorrow? So that's my point. So what if this is the day after tomorrow, and this is what you do? I'm going to go to that app.
What's with the graphic, man?
He's
Is it because of football? He's got no microphone. We took the microphone away from Ed because he lost.
You're going to go on that little doohickey, and you're going to say, at one point I loved you, and this could have been fantastic. You know why everybody really didn't dig that whole Rogue One thing. I digged it. I digged the ending. You know what was going on. Homeboy was trying to get him some because that's a smart motherfucker right there. He went up to her and he was like, look, I know this about to drop over there. We'll die. I had this thing from you from the beginning. Can I just get a feel?
Get some.
Can I get a little? Can I just get a little something? I'm saying, let me blah up on that. You're over here like this.
Can I just say your hair?
I wish I could get some.
You know, we've talked about it a million times. The internet has ruined communication, whereas you can sit and have an intelligent conversation with just about anybody in the free fucking world. But the internet gives people.
Do you know who likes
either anonymity or balls?
My uncle. Because my uncle's catchphrase is, what? You want fuck or what? Or what?
Ooh, mine was nice. Nice shoes.
9 times out of 10.
Did Eric Mitchell play Animal Crackers out loud?
9 times out of 10. 9 times out of 10. He says you're gonna get a yes, and that's what the internet is. That's the internet. You sext. You tell them a little bit. Mm-hmm. Now you can do it anonymously. You can be like, I would love if you took a Klondike bar and slid it across your lips.
Oh, God.
And spit it out because you don't chocolate, you stupid son of a... You know, come on, man.
I got you.
Was you?
That was me. I thought that gave it a...
Now Ed's triggered.
Like I said, guys, seriously, if you like somebody, do me a favor.
Look him in the
eye.
No.
Go to their job and fucking bring fucking Rose and be like, dude, I fucking like you. Can we go on a date? If you have feelings for somebody and you've been holding it in for fucking 6 months, 6 years, 16 years, throw that shit aside, go to their fucking house, knock on the door and be like, yo, I got feelings for you. Like, let's see where this goes. I mean, obviously, you know, they're married or, you know, put on the side. No, seriously, guys, take a chance and don't, like, life's too fucking short. And just like Jason, what if it is the day tomorrow? What if the day after tomorrow?
We won't know.
We'll be dead. And you're anonymously telling people that you want to touch their butt and eat tacos.
All right. I get it.
I love you guys,
All
and
right.
I really want us to move forward as people. But right now, we're like monkeys.
Right? Fucking a football. Let me give a quick shout out.
I got 2 responses from that.
All right. Give a quick shout out. Monel is on, watching us now.
You don't have boobs.
Been a big supporter since the beginning. So, Monel, thanks for watching us tonight. You mentioned it earlier. Now we're going to give Ed the microphone. Shit's just going to go sideways from here. He's going to say bad things. Mike mentioned it just a minute ago, and my family's down there, and I have friends in Houston. So let's not forget the devastation in Houston and in Florida. If there's a way that you can donate to some of these relief efforts, go through the Red Cross, or Bruce Pritchard, a former guest on the show, has set up loveforhouston.com. Go through him. He's worked tirelessly with the Red Cross. He's been displaced from his home, and he wants to help the city that he was born in, raised in, and grew up in. My family is safe. My friends are safe. I've spoken to most of them today. It's still devastating. Those of us who, like us from the Northeast, know minor devastation when it comes to hurricanes or blizzards. These folks down there in the South with these hurricanes, they hit hard and they hit fast. So if you see a reputable Red Cross donation site, please help the relief efforts for Harvey and for Irma. And let's all hope and pray, depending on what your belief system is, that no way, Jose is not going to make landfall anytime soon.
All right, check.
Look at you, wireless man.
Buddy.
Yeah.
And last thing.
Go ahead.
That I did want to say is, being the anniversary of 9/11.
Okay, you just clipped out. You clipped out. You're no longer audible. Don't know how, don't know why.
Why'd you touch it?
He fucking touched it.
You touched it, it popped, it's over.
If you want batteries, go to www.lokiandjabroni.com/Amazon and buy some neat shit. You can buy batteries. You can buy toilet paper.
I miss you people.
The man in the box is
He'll be right
allowed
back.
to talk.
I'll be right back. I need batteries.
You were
I gotta hook up. It is the anniversary of 9/11, people, and for everybody that did, lose somebody, we really. There's nothing you can say. There really isn't. And for those of you that were there for it, oh my goodness, bottom line. But I do want to say, for those of you who this day means something other than tragedy. I have friends that have 9/11 for their birthday. Mm-hmm. You talked about anniversaries. I don't know anybody that has an anniversary on that, but who knows? You know what I'm saying? If it's a special day to you, don't
keep it special.
Don't feel bad. Don't let people make you feel like you have to feel bad because of what happened. Absolutely, what you need to do is celebrate your time. It's your time, and yes, it was a tragedy that happened 16 years ago. It absolutely was. It absolutely was. But it happened, and we learned from it, and I'm hoping that we continue to learn from it.
Absolutely.
Don't take it away from the people that this day is special for them, though. Please don't be assholes.
Let's remember that the human spirit does live, and we can all disagree on any particular given day, week, month, or year. At the end of the day, we're all human. We all have wants, needs, loves, and, let's just be cool to each other, man, because tomorrow's not guaranteed. Let's just walk forward as a nation, forget about our petty differences, and just live life, man. And I won't even mention, things that are like the looting. I made a video, or I sent a video out earlier about the looting going on in the Miami area. Man's inhumanity to man. Let's try to remember that there's a person behind that business. Not every Foot Locker is corporately owned. It's sometimes franchised, and somebody dumped their life savings into this. You're not stealing from Foot Locker. You're not stealing from Nike. You're not stealing from the corporate world or the man. You're stealing from a person. And if somebody stole from you...
Even if you were, it's still theft.
Exactly. It's like taxation. And what is taxation?
Theft.
Thank you. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to take 2 minutes. The anthem's playing, and I'm not standing, which pisses me off. So, when we come back, Eric Mitchell's going to be here, and we're going to talk about They Took My Job! Be right back. Welcome back. Sitting to my immediate right, not Loki, but it's super Loki and Jabroni fan, belt buyer extraordinaire, and for one night, producer emeritus, Eric B. Mitchell.
Absolutely. What's up, man?
Hey, how you guys
How
doing?
you been?
Pretty
Welcome
good.
to Valhalla.
Yeah. Took a while to find the place, but I found it.
That's all right. Glad to hear it.
You just got to walk downstairs.
So many of you may know or may not know, Eric and I worked together and recently found out at the company we are employed with that they're ceasing operations by the end of the year. So what we wanted to do was I've done this now, this is my second time, kind of give to you, and if you can give us something through your comments on Facebook, have you ever been through this before? What do you do? What's your mindset? So for Eric, really the first question is, when you got the news? Uh-oh, what happened?
You just got stuffed.
Good.
Peterson just got stuffed.
Fuck Adrian
like
Peterson.
a burrito.
And fuck the Saints. And that's all I got to say about that. Eric, when you first heard the news, what was your initial reaction?
Well, I really didn't know how to react. I mean, it was kind of one of those, you're joking me. This is like April Fool's Day, just a little late. But, it's not April and it's not April Fool's Day.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously there's the emotion of people being sad because, going out of business, the customers, the employees. It sucks.
Mm-hmm. Now, I remember, and if I want to go back, I can say the name of the company because they're gone, was Caldor.
I remember them.
And we got the news probably 90 days in advance. Like, okay, this is what's going to happen. The press isn't going to get a hold of it. Right now, we're telling you got a couple weeks to talk to your families, if you have families. If you are a guy like me who was single, ready to mingle, 26 years old, doing really well at the time, you have time to now go put out applications and go do things further elsewhere. Whereas in this situation today in 2017, when we got the news, we were told this won't be released to the press until 6 p.m. It's going to be on this channel, this channel, this channel. And within a half hour, I know my phone was blowing up. Oh, my God, I just heard this from WJAR in Providence or WPRI in Providence or from WFSB in Hartford. The press knew before probably all the employees knew.
Yeah, someone said they were reading on Facebook at like 9 o'clock that morning. And
Oh, see, I heard 2:30 because we were told, I know I was told at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then, you know, the text started to flow.
So, like, my question is the media knew before us, so how long was this planned?
Again, great question, because nobody just wakes up one morning and says, oh, you know what? I'm fucking shutting down my operation. This was easily months in the making.
Yeah.
The one thing that I had a problem with, and at this point, I really don't care what the repercussion is, because I will put this logic in front of anybody in that structure. The structure is dying anyway. What are they going to say to me other than, oops?
What are they going to do, fire you?
Bring it on, Jack. What bothered me was at the top of the press release says we have the desire to retire and spend time with our families. And then a couple paragraphs underneath it was like, we really are going to miss our 700 plus employees, you know, half of which are full-time, half of which are part-time. You know, the changing climate of the retail world, which Ed and I have talked about publicly and privately. Mike and I have talked about publicly and privately about the changing game of retail as we know it, with not only the big box stores like Target or Walmart, but you also have the proliferation of Amazon and all the online shopping that's going on. You can survive. It's the question of, do you want to survive?
You got to have the will and desire to survive.
You also have to change with the times, because if you're selling an item, and I'm not saying that this company does this, and we're not going to name the company by name, although many of you can probably figure it out. I'm not saying this company does this, but if your competitor across the street is selling the same exact product for $3 and you're selling it for $5, 90% of the consumers are going to go across the street.
Yeah.
You have to change with the times, and you have to weigh the option of profit and gain versus loss.
Then you also have those loyal people who are loyal to their stores, and regardless of what you're selling it for, they are going to come over and buy it because they love the store. They want to help profit.
Exactly.
Smaller businesses, mom and pop stores.
You know, and how many people did you hear over these last several days say, we're really going to miss this. We're really going to miss it. This was my first stop before I went anywhere else. This was my go-to. I grew up here.
I got my first bike here.
I can remember being a little leaguer back in 1871, and they had what was called Tag Day, which they really don't do a lot anymore. Some do, some don't. And me and my buddy Scott hanging out in our baseball uniforms in front of Benny's.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
You know? And I just kind of broke my own rule. But
I was
fuck
say,
it. Fuck it. We're
I was
already
say the
here.
company you should not be named.
We're already here. We're already here. I've got a job lined up.
Well, it's not like they're getting ready to go anywhere.
Right. It's not. What are they going to do? Well, they got spies watching the show? Maybe they do. How you doing?
That's more listeners for us.
Exactly.
How you doing, man? I will take
Bring it on. Chris, you didn't word it wrong. It sounded just fine on your comment. I'm going to read it out loud. I found out my jobs in the past through the media before we were told by the management, specifically Bernie's and Tweeter. So
good old Bernie.
that's kind of ass backwards.
Right.
You know, I'll give Caldor a lot of credit back in 1999.
When you're done, I'm going to defend those.
And that's fine. And again, as long as everybody's respectful and we can all hear the other point, everything's great. The problem I have is you tell the employee first. You have to tell the employee first. This is where they make their bread and butter.
Take care of their family, and
exactly,
it's their life. Some people,
you know, a press release is basically saying, "Fuck you, fuck your family. We really don't give a shit what happens to you after tomorrow, but we're out. See you later." It wasn't like Caldor, who was in financial peril for 2 years leading up to it. It's not like I worked at a pizza restaurant under the table at 15 years old.
Caldor restructured like 3 times.
Yes, they did.
Like, they didn't go down without a fight.
And each time, what up, Keith? Thank you for joining us. Each time,
well, is this place going down without a fight, or are they just?
Well, they're done. It's it. End of the year. This place is gone. It's gonski. It's going to be difficult for me, not because I worked there or in a few months have worked prior there, but that plot of land has been a part of my life in a lot of people's lives for
Oh, yeah.
35, 40 years.
They've been
agree.
at that
I agree.
location since 1970 something. They first started out downtown
Down in
Norwich.
Franklin Square.
It doesn't look that much different either.
No, it
Yeah.
doesn't. But
No,
the,
it
the,
really
the
does.
beautiful thing is, and even before I worked there, and I was telling Eric this story, a lot of people that worked there, in the time that I call it semi-employed, when the job at PCC went south and I was working part-time at a doctor's office, Angela's a big gardener. So we were like, we need some gardening things. We need this, we need that. Where do you want to go? She's like, let's go to Benny's.
It's right there.
It's just boom. It's almost ingrained in the structure. It's weaved into the fabric of this area. Benny's has always been there.
I've had people ask me, where am I supposed to go now that when you guys are gone?
It's unfortunate, but you tell them, and I always tell them the mom and pop businesses. The Agway up here is independently owned in Norwich. Bosmer Home and Hardware, same thing. You go to the places that are still trying to, they do it for the love of it. Yes, they're doing it for the money. Anybody who opens a business does it for the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you have to, these are people that depend on your business. Walmart doesn't depend on your business. Walmart will survive whether or not you shop there because somebody
close
has.
down
They've
tomorrow,
actually gone down a few quarters though.
Ooh,
Even Walmart.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Even Walmart's hurting,
But and then that goes back to the proliferation of online shopping.
or the fact that Walmart's
Well,
are just dirty fucking stores.
We talked about shopping itself, like even before we got on, and I agree with Eric in that aspect. You really want to touch something, you want to wear it, you want to put it on, you want to see how it feels on you.
Mm-hmm.
I bought many of things online, and I've gotten in like, wow, this is perfect. And then I've gotten hats and stuff where
And it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't
right,
fit.
exactly. And if I would have
They
tried
say
it on
it's
the
an
store,
extra large,
I
and it's
wouldn't have
not an
bought it.
extra large.
Right.
Actually,
exactly.
I know from experience, an extra large out of Germany is different than an extra large.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
no,
absolutely.
is.
I can't
Absolutely.
fit into that shirt. It's a collector's item. It just hangs on the.
Yep.
Right?
Exactly,
You know, yes.
exactly.
But to going back before we get too far away, defend the point with like the tweeters and the Bernies and stuff. A lot of the companies that are publicly traded, the stockholders got to be told first. And
I'll buy that.
That's usually why press releases go out because they're publicly traded. It's the law; they have to disclose everything.
Of course, because
otherwise
they have a financial
right,
they have a financial stake in the company.
Well, there's trading laws.
News
If they
update.
don't do that, then it's insider trading.
I'm sorry?
News update for you Saints fans. That's 6 yards for Adrian Peterson thus far.
Nice. And they're looking to kick a field goal,
Like-
and Garrett Hartley does it again.
Like a
Nice.
dry fart. That's how you guys are going to start the season. That's how you're going to end it. Like
We opened with a
dry
touchdown. How'd the Saints do?
Fart. Like a dry fart. Look, there's Peterson over
Fuck
there.
the Saints.
I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to talk shit.
And if
man.
you're watching, and you're a Saints fan,
I didn't mean-
fuck the Saints.
I didn't mean to talk shit. Guys.
Except Lee Bozeman, you will always hold high regard with me. Every other Saint fan can kiss my dick live in public at Times Square going forward.
Actually, if you wanted to start if you want to do that, you don't want to do the tip. You want to start lower because
No,
the
like
tip is the most
in the
sensitive
taint
spot.
area.
No, not even that, because that's some freaky shit right there. Because if you didn't shower, you're just asking for
All right.
it. You know what I'm saying? But no, shaft area, right where the ball sack kind of meets the shaft, is a nice little area
Okay.
to start. That's
Sure, I'll buy
spectacular.
that.
And then you got that little fleshy area, like if you happen to get
Or like
circumcised.
the little gizzard on the chicken.
Right,
Or
right.
The
If
turkey.
you get circumcised, you got that little fleshy
Leave it to
area
Eric
right
B.
before
Mitchell
the
to have
tip.
the best drop in of the night. Fantastic. So the biggest question that I've gotten, even from my mother on the phone today. Oh, by the way, I'm glad my family in Florida is safe.
Mine
the
is
hurricane has
too.
passed them by. The first question is, what are you going to do now? And I heard everybody at the job, with the exception of you and one other, say, what are we going to do now? And I said, well, it's simple. Your job search starts today.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
As much as it sucks, you're absolutely right. I think we brought up a point before saying that everybody kind of gets to this point.
Mhm.
Everybody gets this little slap in the face where you really do fear for tomorrow.
You
don't-
have to.
You don't have right exactly, but that
Especially
fear,
the older you are.
But that fear,
Exactly.
Yes. You
44. This is, being this is my second go round, I had more text messages, I think it was Friday night, and I'm walking through the Ledger Fair with my family, and I'm getting text messages. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I'm like, it's not my first picnic. And the job search starts now. You can't sleep on this. Even when Caldor went under, I got recruited and hired by a Mohegan Sun, and I knew this, like, you're in upper management, you're like third or fourth on the line. So when this closes, take 3 days, relax your mind, then you come to work for us. So it was very different. Whereas now at 44, back then I was 26. So at 26, everybody
You don't
thinks,
even care.
Yeah.
Yeah, at 26, you
You're
think
like,
you got the world by the
summer off.
balls,
Yep.
right?
It's vacation, you know?
But now, the question I've gotten the most, and I'm sure you've gotten some of this, even though you have a full-time job,
Yep.
other than this, what are you going to do? Well, I'm going to put my head down, I'm going to run forward, and I am going to do what I have to do to feed my family. Because,
Pay the bills, feed the family.
you know,
yeah.
it's nice to go out in the woods and grow corn and whatever, and that's all well and good, but at some point, you need to have the proteins and all that. And look, we can go on the farming thing. I love farmers. Without farmers, we have no food. God bless them. But I'm not a farmer. I am not someone who grows my own shit. If I did grow my own shit, it'd be poppy so I could make $1 million selling heroin. However, comma.
It's an option. It's an option.
Yeah,
Keep
and
'em open.
again, and I know she's asking this question. One of the listeners says, "Got any good going out of business sales on bikes?" That's a question that
They're
I've
still
gotten a
running their
lot.
birthday sale, so.
Oh, they're still running the
Yep.
birthday sale.
Sale starts on Thursday.
Happy birthday! We're dying.
Yeah.
Let's all have a fucking party.
We need to get a tombstone cake.
Fuck. What we need to do is get the Undertaker to make a special appearance at
Yes.
35 New London Turnpike.
I have a
North.
question for both you guys.
Go ahead.
Go for it.
So, based on things I've seen on TV
Mhm.
and promises that were made,
Okay.
is Donald Trump going to bring your job back?
No,
Took
it's up
my
to me.
job. No.
It's up to me.
You gotta do it yourself. You gotta keep moving forward.
Exactly. No one is going to help you.
You know, I've always said this about every politician. Let's not just corner Donald Trump. We're going to create jobs. Well, how do you create jobs? Somebody give me the plan that says we're going to create jobs, and I'll buy it. But they never do.
No, I mean,
My plan is I'm going to be president, and I'm going to create 400,000 jobs.
it looks good.
How?
It sounds good to say we're going to create jobs.
No.
But then afterwards, do you actually follow through? You know, the change is
If you-
coming. Make America great again. I mean,
If you create 400,000 government jobs, that's 400,000 jobs costing money, like they're
Yep.
a net loss.
yeah.
Okay, you, only,
From the word go.
you can only set things in motion for companies to create jobs.
You know,
That's all you can do.
I know it's a sore subject for a lot of people, but the only guaranteed jobs there are anymore is government and military. That's it. You sign up, you're in. As long as you meet the
Now when I get
requirements, you're in.
elected.
No, and that's fine.
It's regular, but then you know you got those who just sit on the couch and collect the welfare money.
And that's a problem too. Let's go back to that. When I left
And
Caldor,
if I triggered, I'm sorry, buddy.
that's okay.
I'm sure he triggered some farmer.
When I left Caldor, I had 3 days, but I was told you have the right to collect 1 week's unemployment, and I did. It came back to haunt me all these years later when the PCC thing fell out and I applied for unemployment. They say you owe this much money. I'm like, why? He says, well, you collected benefits for X amount of weeks. I had to go back and prove that I didn't do this, and for 6 weeks, I basically lived off what I had in the bank to not only pay my child support, pay my rent, pay all this other bullshit, because in the state's mind, let's not even get into the happiest place to live on earth. If you didn't see that fucking thing earlier, Connecticut's not the happiest
No,
place to
it's
live.
not.
But
Rates above Puerto Rico.
right now, yes. And
Puerto
Florida.
Rico's bankrupt.
Yep.
But-
We're heading that way, it seems like.
I collected 1 week unemployment in 1999. It came back to haunt me in 2016. Because for
Well, that's
whatever
a big
reason,
gap right there, too.
let's put it to you this way. I know someone who just tried to apply for food stamp benefits, who hasn't had food stamp benefits in probably 20 years. And there was a snafu in the system where they didn't give the benefits because your old card is active. And the person was like, well, I haven't collected these benefits in 20 fucking years. The system is flawed. It's not
Yeah.
the person. The system is flawed. I'll buy it. Absolutely.
I mean, this isn't
Throw them all out of the street.
Right.
This
Fuck
isn't
'em.
my first job I've actually lost. Way back when I used to work as a preschool teacher, it's when 3 of us was consolidating into one thing.
Mhm.
They laid us off for the summer, was saying that only 4 of us get their jobs back. And so at that time, I took the time. I was like, I'm going to go get my education, finish up my college degree. Turns out that the preschool opened for 2 months, closed down again, and different management, and no one ever went back as far as the same staff. And so it's not my first time losing a
People
job.
should be constantly changing their skill set.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
The days of finding that one cushy job and then retiring
Yep.
off of it is virtually over.
You know, there's a reason why
job security, I don't think is out there anymore.
No, absolutely not, because
It never
you're
really
a number.
was, if you think about it.
I think there was way back when, because they appreciated. You have to go back maybe 40 years for this.
Appreciated. Like most of those jobs are automated now. They don't like they're automating HR services
Mm-hmm.
now. You don't need all those.
Please
people.
press 1 to talk to someone.
There's a reason that I
If
could.
you've been sexually harassed, press 8.
Give me 2 days.
If that person is management, please leave.
Right? There's a reason why, if I could learn the system now, I could go back into public radio DJing. I could go into non-destructive testing. I can go into retail management. I can go into about anything, because I always have a desire to learn something new. And I don't care how old you get. Anybody who says, oh, well, I'm 47, I'm too old to learn something new, you're cheating yourself.
Or you say you're set in your ways. I mean,
You're cheating yourself.
Yeah. I mean, I understand getting set in your ways. But you know what? You need to at least venture out there and try something different.
Sure.
I worked with auto technicians that refused to go to the dealership paid for them to go to school. They refused to go to school because they thought they knew more about fixing cars than anybody else.
Yeah.
And they learned the
You know?
technology moved quicker than their knowledge.
Exactly. It's like, dude, this van has 8 computers in it.
What's going on, Brett? Thanks for joining. We have a question for you, actually, from the Peanut Gallery, from Big Matt. He says, what's up, Eric? How did you like Summer Showdown? You won the tickets at the SummerSlam party.
That was pretty good on Friday night when my phone was blowing up with people. What are you going to do now? And I just basically watched a wrestling event because there's not much I can do.
Right.
I was just told I was going to be losing my job soon. So am I going to sit there and cry, or am I going to sit and enjoy life?
But that's not the right thing to do.
I sat there and watched this wrestling event, and that was fucking kick-ass awesome. And if I'm not, I can't use that.
You can know where. Hey, you can say. Did you just say fuck?
I did say fuck.
I'm triggered. This is bullshit. I am not
This
having
is a
it.
family show.
Right?
Oh, I'm sorry, everyone that's got families.
The fuck is wrong with you?
They did helmet-to-helmet contact already?
Saints are dirty already.
Saints have always been dirty motherfuckers. Fuck the Saints.
Hey, when did they get PJ Klein from the Panthers?
Oh, God. They obviously traded down. Asshats. All right, so. No. Do your thing, because when you come in, I'm going out. I got to take care of some business with a man about a horse. Anyway, funny thing is, one of our coworkers actually said they thought that the reason God brought you to us to help us through this process, and I appreciate her sentiment. I really do. God brought you to us to help us through this process. I'm like, well, I did go through it. I kind of know the fear firsthand. I kind of know the process firsthand, and it's not the end of the world. When those doors lock for the last time, nobody's dead.
It's a new page in a new book.
It really is. You just have to have a positive attitude going forward, and you have to. A positive attitude is great, and that's where I started with positive attitude. But you have to have the drive to go out and find something. And whether it's a new beginning or you're just going to continue on the path, like I know there are some people there that have worked nothing but box retail their entire life.
Yeah.
No offense to them. That's your niche. You run with it. You go with what you're good at. But there are some, even like me at 44, one of the job offers I had is so out of my element. But I know I can manage. I've been doing it for 20 years. I know I can, anywhere I go, I can implement ideas and structure that can push a company forward. You have to have that mindset that, well, this may not work. I really don't want to work at Walmart or Target, but Benny's is shutting down, yada, yada, yada. What am I going to do? Start thinking outside the box. Stop pigeonholing yourself to thinking that this is my destiny. Because you can do whatever you want to do as long as you have the drive and determination and the smarts to do it.
I think for me, I've worked with younger kids. I did a preschool. I worked at a state home. When my friend said, hey, they've got a co-ed position opening up with teenagers, I didn't want to work with teenagers. And here it is, 5 years later. I'm still working with them. And you know what? I don't regret saying yes to that job.
Absolutely not. Because let's be honest, I'm not going to disparage the company, but this wasn't my ideal job. I applied for a butt ton of jobs. I was interviews all the time. These guys will tell you, I would text them, I got this job interview. Everything looks good. Turns out either somebody with more experience or someone younger that they could turn into a yes man, got the job, no big deal. You can't fail unless you try.
Yeah.
Sometimes half the fun of success is failing a couple times, because when you find your success, then you're like, fuck you, I did this. So it was actually a friend of ours, Bob Wicks,
Yes.
said, hey, this particular place is looking for someone and they need an immediate fill. Go down, fill out the app. I filled it out online, and I got a call within 2 days. And then 2 days later, I was in front of a nice gentleman named Bob. And 2 days after that, I was in front of a semi-okay gentleman named Mark. And 2 days after that, I'm hired.
Yeah.
So the whole process took 8 days. Was this my final destination for life? No, I knew that then. But
It's
as
but
long-
you know what though? Sometimes it's nice to think that could be, but it's
sure.
it's a secure thought.
But as long as someone pays me money to do a job, guess what? I'm going to bust my ass, and I'm going to go above and beyond a bunch of people that you ever had standing in front of me, and I'm going to do it better, because that's just who I am. You know, even going back to the days of delivering newspapers. The old paper boy, I got my paper at 7 o'clock. I'm going to make sure you get it by 6:30. Boom. I want to be better. My life is a complete competition. Everything.
Are there still paper
Everything.
boys nowadays?
I will beat my 10-year-old's ass at Connect 4, and somebody says, well, why don't you let her win? Because she doesn't learn anything that way. When I was coaching, why don't you be softer on these girls? Because if I'm soft on them now, they're going to be soft when they're employable. There is no soft. Teach the rules of life. And life is you get what you get out of it, what you put into it.
And it's not always fair.
No,
You
it's
know?
not always fair. We talked off the microphone before we went on.
Now, wait a minute. Everyone deserves equality of outcome.
This is the part where I go to the bathroom. Mike's back. You might hit the trigger warning
Your
now.
outcome could depend on the quality of life you're living.
Boom!
No, we're
Yes.
entitled to the same equality of outcome. I
Listen.
should have what Mark Cuban has.
Is this the America show or is this the Loki and Jabroni show?
Get off your entitled horse and come to
You know-
reality.
Dun, 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 dun,
Have I triggered someone?
You guys are racist,
Here we go.
homophobic, and xenophobic,
Wait.
and sexist,
Wait.
and
I like Xena
Okay.
for what it's worth, so
Okay.
I'm not xenophobic.
Okay, little Mr. Millennial. We respect your decision. We
Yes.
do. But can I ask you something? Have you ever
if you
lost,
disagree with me, I
have you-
shouldn't have to hear you.
have you ever lost a
Oh, if it
job
was only
that
that
wasn't
easy.
your fault?
Once.
And what happened?
9/11 actually got laid off from Alamo. You want to go there? Nobody was flying.
We've I was a carpenter getting ready to get my freaking carpenter's license, and I got laid off right before it even happened. And that was 3 years of me being someone's apprentice that went right down the drain, man. And I mean, it's a scary feeling to have that pulled away from you. But just like you said, you can crawl up into a ball and just keep getting kicked, or you can decide, you know what?
Get up and keep moving forward.
I got to move forward. I need something. And even if that something is something small until I get something bigger, at least you're working. You know what I'm saying?
Get over,
And
get
I
under,
see
get
some
around,
people
just
like-
keep going.
I'm going to add to that. Even while you're working, learn some new shit.
Right, exactly. You know what I'm
You know?
saying? Like the other day, somebody was, I saw he was must have been like around my age. Maybe a couple years older than me. And he's working Dunkin' Donuts. Smile on this dude's face. He was working harder and faster than any other employee there. I'll tell you what, I can bet you any amount of money he didn't want to be there. He picked this up for a second job because he needed the money. I guarantee you he's probably,
Times are
He's
tough.
probably
Need
just,
second-
right.
Yeah.
He's probably just happy to have that extra money.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And he wants to keep
Dude,
it.
Just to see, that's what I'm saying. Just to see him bust his ass, it makes me smile every fucking time. And to have somebody turn around and dog that guy and be like, man, I just saw a 60-year-old at fucking Dunkin' Donuts. Dude, you don't know
Dude,
what he's
when
doing.
I worked at the distribution center, nothing broke my heart more than seeing a 60-plus-year-old man come in on the temp agency.
Yeah,
Okay, and you talk to him, and it's like, oh, I'm a pipe fitter. I used to make $40 an hour.
right.
And it's like, you're here making 10, working probably twice as hard because sure as hell no, my back hurts.
Right,
Yep.
exactly.
And I was like, half his age. Like, nothing broke my heart more, but it happens that way. But, you know, he would be the first one to say, like, I was kind of, like, happy with where I was working, and I didn't try to do anything else. We lost him to the game again,
no,
folks.
I completely agree with what you're saying, and that's the thing. Like, when people don't get where the other side is coming from, that's the worst feeling of it all. That's the worst. I mean, people just seriously need to either A, shut the fuck up, or B, put themselves in that person's shoes for like maybe 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Literally for 5 minutes. Like, just step away from your fucking perfect life and let everybody, know what's really going on.
You could be a CEO executive and have to fire all these people.
Right.
And you're sitting there, it's like, okay, my job's done. Put yourself in their shoes. I mean, they just lost their jobs. Now,
the homeless in New York, believe it or not, are littered with CEOs that had nervous breakdowns.
I believe it.
It's true. Like most homeless people, like 1 in 4 is a veteran.
Yep.
Others probably are just lazy bums that got hooked on drugs, whatever. But there's always like 1 or 2 that used to be like a big shot and suddenly lost everything, or they had to fire everybody and they had a nervous breakdown.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's life.
That's life.
Especially, here's the thing that gets me. This is what boggles my mind, especially with the internet. There's like no excuse for anybody not to learn something.
Of course, they're going rampant.
Yeah. I mean, the internet is a learning source.
Yeah.
For me, my experience is dealing with people who never think anything is their fault.
Mm-hmm.
It's
always
the
someone else's
job.
fault.
It's not them.
Yep.
They were wronged in some way. I'm tired of dealing with employees like that myself as a supervisor. I really can't stand people not living up and taking, responsibility for their own part in their lives. Also, those people who feel the need to complain or report people in service industries like retail or food and
Hello, Natasha.
beverage
How you
and stuff
doing?
like that. Because they think, oh, you made me mad, you offended me, I'm going to complain about you. Do you realize that you are complaining about someone's job?
Yeah.
Okay? You are possibly messing with, their employment altogether.
And their futures, if they have a future.
Exactly. All because you were offended by something? Or it
called-
wasn't completely up to your standards as a person?
They
who-
said my name wrong. That's very offensive. Get over it.
Yeah.
How many teachers in schools butcher kids' names? And you
Mine's
don't-
All
been
of them.
butchered my entire life.
AA Ron.
Yeah, I mean, and you don't see these kids going home, Mom, I want that teacher fired because they butchered my name. No, I'm sorry, but you know what? Some names are so difficult to say. Get over
Especially
it.
in the
That's a
ones now.
wussification episode for another time. And no, trust me, I think we've beaten that horse to submission, but it keeps rising like a phoenix from the ashes.
Because it will never die.
Of course it won't. I can see, and I look at Janelle. Your son is 6.
7.
Correct. 7, okay. So at 7, you do have to meet him at the front nowadays for the bus.
Yeah.
I get that. And I can't necessarily take my experience of when I was 7, we walked. That was a different time and a different place. But
When I was 7, my bus stop was down on the main road
Yep.
at the end of my driveway.
And you walked
where
your
I
ass
waited
home.
by myself
but
every time and got off by myself.
different time,
went up to
different
my house.
different
Now people
situation.
are
But when
afraid
a,
of Hawk's going to swoop by and take their child away.
but now it's a 10-year-old. Now you have to wait out front for the 10-year-old.
Yep.
What's next? The 15-year-old? What's next? And it goes back to what I've always said.
Do we have to walk in
when
and wipe their
when
butts
do we
too?
stop? When do we draw that line? Well, you can't blame them for that. They're 10. When 3 years is going to be, we can't blame them for that. They're 13. 5 years from that, you can't blame them for that. They're 18.
Too many people.
The
are
line's
not-
got to stop.
They're over protecting their children. Some people are giving way too much leeway to their children, where others are overprotecting them. They're not responsible. They're this age. Well, we were that age once too, and nothing happened to us. In fact, we're upstanding parents now, overprotecting our children.
I got to give some love to Eddie Focus. He should be the United States champion.
I know there was this one time, there was this kid who couldn't find their parent. I'm asking them questions, but because, mom and dad taught them, don't talk to strangers, I can't help them find their parent. So now this kid's here crying, and it's just like, I'm trying to help him. It's like, well, what does your mom look like? What does your dad look like? And they're not speaking because they're afraid to speak. Mom and
Can I
dad
just
says,
say,
don't talk to strangers.
there's an attitude that takes you over when you put these belts on your shoulder.
Fucking right.
Like, I just want to go up to a
You
random
got that snarly
little
bitch
kid
face going
and
on.
just body slam him.
When you're the world heavyweight champion like myself,
Mike's like, not it.
you really understand what kind of responsibility is put on you as the world heavyweight champion?
Intercontinental champion, the Miz, me. Better
But
than Miz.
going before we get too freaking crazy, going back to the point, even so far as like what are we going to do? We're about to lose our jobs. It's a question of the young. And in some cases, it's a question of those who have been there. Like we've mentioned, there are some people that have been there 30 years who know nothing else but this job. For them, I have sympathy. For the young guy who's been there a year or 6 months or whatever.
They're going to find a job like that.
Oh, exactly. And I just said that to Angela the other night. It's just that when you're young, you're more desirable and hireable than someone like me, because I learned that when I moved to Florida. They'd rather hire 20 part-timers than 3 full-timers because they skate the insurance, they skate the benefits, they skate all of this stuff.
And they pay them less.
Exactly. And I heard so many times, you're overqualified. I'm not looking to be the CEO. I'm looking for a job. I'm looking to feed my family.
Anything for a job.
Well, we can't hire you. Well, you're fucking lost. Got to go. See you when I see you.
If you can operate a register at a retail store, why can't? I mean, I can operate a register. I have a bachelor's degree. Would you not hire me? I mean, as long as I can.
I know a lot of places that want those degrees nowadays, and it's like me. I went to college. I don't have a full-on degree, but I did go to college. But apparently, that does not matter because I do not have a degree or a title. Now, mind you,
I have a degree. It hasn't gotten me anywhere.
I was in nursing for 6 years.
Got my Alexa Bliss on.
I was a nurse's aide for 6 years, and I got hurt and had back surgery, and the doctor said I could never do that career again. My whole life from high school was I was going to be a nurse.
Yeah.
So at that point, I literally had to start over. I was 26.
Wow, that sounds familiar.
So I started in office. But then it got to the point where you had to have a degree in order to be someone's secretary.
Yep.
And I'm like, nobody with a bachelor's degree is going to want to answer your phone.
No. But you'll find someone out there who is willing to work and willing to bust their ass.
And make minimum wage.
Even, see, to me, I've had this conversation a bazillion times. Minimum wage, that, I don't want to get into that conversation. Let's just say that if you want quality work, you pay quality wage.
Yeah. That's fair.
When I got my job, I negotiated. I negotiated hard. I'm like, well, we pay this. I'm like, here's my resume. That's where I'm going to leave this conversation. And I was told, well, we can do a little better. Okay. And I'm not killing it right now. Believe me, if anybody's watching this and thinking that I held this company ransom, no, I did no such thing. But I also know where I came from, what I've done, and what I'm worth. I took far less than what I'm worth, but I negotiated myself to what I call a living wage at 44 years old. There's no way at 44 years old that, and they didn't offer me this, but what's the minimum wage right now? 10
something.
10 is not going to feed my family.
No.
10 is not going to pay my bills. 10 is not going to put a 44-year-old man through anything other than the breadline.
Let's see now, like those little 19, 18, 17-year-olds who are going their first job. 10 it's money for them, and they should be proud of that.
I don't want to dwell on this too much, but the minimum wage thing drives me nuts. Do you know what the average hourly wage in the country is? The average now. This doesn't count
Isn't it
CEOs.
like 9 or 8 like that?
13 and
Oh,
change.
15.
It's 15 something.
Well, I'm below that.
I'm below that too with both jobs.
3% of the population actually make working population actually make minimum wage, and most of them are kids in school. Like very few companies pay minimum wage.
Yeah.
Because they need to compete.
I can tell you this. When I left my son's father and I was starting over, I, again, was starting a new career because I had no car. So what did I do? I got a job at McDonald's because it was close. I could walk there, and it gave me money to help my kids.
You and I have had arguments about this, but what I'm going to say to you before you even go forward is you busted your ass and you worked your way forward. Mm-hmm. Whereas the guy who slaps the pickles on the burger who wants $15 an hour, who fucks up my order 9 times out of 10.
Oh, that I agree
15.
with. That I agree with.
Work your ass off, make the wage.
I always told, now mind you, I was a department kitchen manager. Mm-hmm. I ran the entire kitchen. I did all the ordering. I did the inventory. I did everything. Mm-hmm. And now, mind you, you'd think that level of management, I would be making at least $12 to $13 an hour, right?
You were making like 9, right?
In a perfect world.
I was making $10.75 an hour. And that was after my third raise.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think McDonald's,
So-
what McDonald's pays management is kind of terrible.
Yeah, they
I've always
literally
felt that way.
take
No, I've seen it
advantage.
for years,
I
yeah.
actually yelled at a manager once and I said, you take advantage of people like me who need a job and can't get ahead anywhere else. So we got to sit here and take your crap and your crappy wages and you work us to death. And God forbid we have to miss a day. We have no PTO. We don't have holidays.
Yeah.
None of that. No insurance.
No sick time.
No sick
nothing.
time, no nothing. So if I call out, I lose those hours. Now, on top of that, because you've called out as a manager,
Yeah.
they fuck with you. They start lowering your hours.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, fine, if you're going to
Like
do
deja
that,
vu.
if
Yeah, now
I'm
with me,
going to
they
only
up my
work
hours.
32 hours, put it in 4 days so I can get another job.
Well,
Because as of right now, working 32 hours in 5 days, I can't get another job.
you know how they always say the good kid gets it worse?
And they said,
course.
you're a
I
manager,
used
you
to
need to
find-
be available
of
all the
course,
time.
the good kid gets it worse.
I always used to see that at for when I used to work at ShopRite in Norwich. Like I'd work with these people that were calling out.
I've
every
heard great
other
things
day.
and horror stories about that place all in one.
Pay well. It's been a long time.
Family
since I've been
owned.
there. Yeah,
I think it is.
Still, to this day, family owned.
Yeah, the Capanos. Own
Yeah.
it. They own that one, New London, and the one they
My
just
stepsons both work there. And
opened. Yeah. I know Scott Capano. He owns the Irish. Pub
I used
there.
to work for him at Harbin Dragon.
now that I can hear you, you know what you get? You get
His
the world heavyweight
his
championship.
family was my boss for quite a few years actually. Problem I had is I'd work with these people that would
Oh, yeah.
call out.
Looks good
every
on
other
me.
day.
I
Definitely
look
works
good in jewels.
Good on those.
Looks good. Looks good on you.
What is it? There would always be this kid that called out every other day. Blah blah. Never say anything to him. I call out once, I'd hear about it for weeks.
oh hell!
yes.
There's
Oh,
Eric,
when I had to take my son to the hospital for an allergic reaction that he needed epi for, my boss said, "This is getting old."
Okay, I got a story just like that. When I was working at PCC for Grand Fuhrer Bill Mossberg, and Monel's watching, so he'll understand this, and I hope you chime in. My daughter got sick at her daycare, and I had to go get her. And Bill Mossberg's underling looked me in the eye. His name was Dave Good. Fuck you, Dave Good. You'll never see this, but if you do, fuck you. I'd love to meet you in a dark alley and stab you while your wife watches in horror.
The Loki and Jabroni show does not advocate
Yes, we do.
violence of any kind.
Hi, Aunt. Hi, Natasha.
And Dave Good looked at me and said,
Hey.
you have to choose between your family and your job. I said, that's an easy one.
Oh, I said the same thing.
So let's fast forward.
What kind of idiot's going to choose their job over their family?
Right. Now, let's fast
The
forward.
upper management.
Right?
Well, that's because they are cold-hearted sometimes.
Let's fast forward to,
Sometimes.
I had an issue at this current job, and again, it's about to end. I really don't care. There's no repercussion because I've already had these discussions with the right people
Again,
at the
what are you
right
going to do?
time.
Fire you?
Take away your employee discount.
I asked for a day off that happened to fall on a weekend. Now I happened to see that for the last 6 weeks somebody had every other Saturday off. They got no dust, no nothing. Here, you need Saturday? Go take it. When I needed it, it was
you can't.
gee, we're gonna have to restructure this and you really this and that. And I'm like, when I got this job, I was told I would have an entire weekend off to spend with my daughter. I never took it once. Then when she's here for a week, that's different. But the weekends that my daughter's here, you told me I'd have the weekend off. It didn't happen. So now you're going to tell me that so-and-so can have every other Saturday off, but I can't? Fuck you, thank you, bye. Tell me why. If you want to see copies, I'll show you copies. Done and done. Oh, James Batchelder says, PCC is an evil place. James, I need to hear. How do you know this? Talk to me, kid. I want to know. I know PCC
you know why
is evil.
shit like that happens? Because you're the hard worker.
You're damn right I'm the hard worker.
The same shit happens to me all the time. It's like
The hard worker wants
so
a
and
day off.
so can, take whenever they want off and slack whenever they want, and then you, God forbid, do one thing or want one thing, then it's, oh my God, I can't
when the
believe
hard
this.
worker has, when I got sick recently, you guys all know this, all of you, listeners included. I got sick recently, I had to take 4 days off. Now, in those 4 days, nobody touched my department. Nobody. But when someone's on vacation or someone does this or someone does that and I pick up their slack, that's okay. But when I'm out, it's not okay. That's the problem we have. Everybody wants to go, well, who helped me? I helped you. Chris, the hardworking sweat equity motherfucker.
You know what you need to do? You know what?
Fucking Saints fans, fuck you.
Here we go.
What you need to do is something that I've learned recently is you got to take everything that is a negative and turn it into a positive. Yeah.
I continue to
Nobody,
do that.
you know what? Maybe they couldn't do your department because they just really couldn't do it like you and they weren't going to touch it. Why do we say that? Or, you know, yeah, you help them with theirs, right? Mm-hmm. Well, that's because you're a good person and you're a hard worker, and that's what you need from that.
I've switched my schedule. Not only at this job, but at every job I've ever had. Someone needs a day off. Hey, I got a wedding to go to. I got this to go to. I'm the first one that raises my hand and goes, hey, Janelle, you need this day off? I'm here for you. You know why? Because you want the good to come back to you. What happens is when it comes your time, isn't that heavy?
Being a champion is heavy.
It is. When it comes
Trust me,
your
I know, I
time,
carry champions every day.
when it comes your time, everybody goes, well, I got plans that day. Well, so did I. But I stood up and I said, I will take what you need. I will work your time so you can go do this for your family. This isn't pigeonholed into this company that I'm talking about. This is pigeonholed into the one before that and the one before that and the one before that. The only company I never had a problem with, Mohegan Sun, ever. You needed something, they worked their ass off to make sure you got what you needed, and God bless them, I should have never left
Well,
that
then
place.
that makes you a better person than most.
And you know what? Like, I've switched shifts with people. People covered my shift. When I see them, I say thank you because I feel like, you know what? You did me a favor. Let me do you a favor. You know, I feel that what goes around comes around, and you're going to cover for me. Hey, listen, you need that day off? I'll take it for you.
Yep.
And that's how I think it should be, but it isn't. It never is.
Just to
never
address
that way.
Adam real quick, if you listened to last week's NFL preview, we covered football. We covered football in the first 20 minutes. You're a little late. Now we're on to the topic. Sorry, not sorry. Unless you're a Saints fan, then fuck you, Saints fan. Fuck you. And fuck your family, except Lee Bozeman, who gets a pass every day. Thank you. Lee Bozeman's my old Army buddy, and he's a Saints fan. So he gets a pass. Every other Saints fan can bend over and take a rake handle splintered into their anus.
Ow.
I know.
Ow.
I know.
Lube or no lube?
I'm guessing none
depends.
on that one.
Depends.
With all that hatred.
So, Eric, let me ask you. We've gone over the initial reaction. We've gone over what are you going to do next. You've been with this company for 15 years?
According to the records, they had me for 17 years. I left for 9 months. I came back. But there's no baby in this situation, I wish. But anyways.
Okay.
I mean, I'd
I
be
was
rich.
going to say, did you give birth?
I would be rich. I mean, I wouldn't be
Not
working.
talk into the
I was gonna
microphone.
say, you got most women on that maternity leave shit because most of us only get 6 weeks. You got 9 months.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Loki's going nuts.
Get the fuck, dude! I swear.
I'd
He scared the dog.
Yeah, he did.
She jumped up.
Get off his fucking wife.
Okay,
At least she's getting trained in football in our house early.
if ever there's a Monday Night Falcons game, this will be in reverse. I want you to know. But
This should be the
thank
new
God for
trigger
this.
picture, you know?
Right? We might have a trigger warning right here, but we're not going to do it.
Thinking about it.
You've been through the initial shock. You've been through the what are you going to do now? Here we are, almost a week removed. What are you have 15, 17, however many years. What's going to be the hardest thing to let go when all of this is said and done?
It's a coin toss. Some employees, you know, because you always
Jabroni,
say,
of course.
Yep, you always say, "Oh, we'll keep in touch. We'll keep it," and it's not always feasible because then they get jobs and or go off to college or leave the state and do something else. So some of my employees that I know, and some of the fans, I've had some really good fans.
You have fans.
I have fans, and I've got. Well, sorry.
Well, look, I can see. You know what? I'm going to stop you. I can see why you have fans because Eric is part time at this job, and from the day I walked into the door, Eric is not only a great cash out banker type person, but he's also a cashier, and he also does some grunt work. But when he is called upon to ring on the register, the first thing he says is, register so-and-so is open. I charge double.
Yep.
So the first time I heard that, I was like, why would you say that? But the second time I heard it, what did I say?
Oh, I forgot.
He gives triple the change.
Yes.
So it became like a game. Eric would be like, register so-and-so is open. I charge double. Yes, but he gives triple change. You're okay.
And you know what, though? The customers, when you throw in that extra line, they actually come on over.
Yeah, they do. They
know?
never get the triple change, though.
Well, no.
It's a fucking shame.
No, I don't have enough pennies to get back.
So you're gonna miss the people. You're gonna miss, like you said, the fans.
Yeah.
The coworkers. I've only been with this company for a year. It's been a year and a week for me. I'm gonna miss the people the most. Whether or not I always agree with them, whether or not I always see eye to eye with them, it's a great group of people. In store.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. And some that come from the corporate office, like I'm going to miss guys like, without saying their last names, Bob. Joey. I'm going to miss Joey. Oh, God.
Is that 200 yards with fucking penalties or?
200 yards with penalties.
With penalties because they just got 60 right.
How? What the fuck?
Dude, intentional fucking grounding. They didn't fucking come.
Horse shit.
Dude. Jerry Springer, I'm triggered.
Here it comes. Hold on. Here it comes. Your favorite moment of the show. Horse shit.
A sack that was called a fucking flagrant foul. So they got 25 yards for that one. Yeah, Saints.
Fuck.
You guys are right on top of it again.
You're scaring Sasha.
Fuck the Saints, except Lee Bozeman, who always gets a pass. Love you, Lee. Thank you.
Every Saints fan, fuck.
Except Lee, you cannot. No.
All right, on that note, I'm going to dip out. I wanted to get in on that whole snowflake millennial job shit because it's lately just been pissing me off. Oh, you know what? Actually, there was one thing I did want to say about that.
Bring it.
There was a girl I knew who literally, she ended up working for me for 5 seconds at a job.
5 seconds? That's a long time nowadays.
Pretty much.
Wow.
And she complained about the job she had before and how bad it was. And then she would, slowly became Facebook friends, of course. And then, she ended up leaving my job to go to another job because they had a higher position for her. Then it, was, they don't understand this and this, that, and the other thing. So she'd leave that job. Now, she never get fired. She just always leave before she got fired.
Right.
And all the time complaining about her job on Facebook. And no matter what job it was, whatever job she had, literally every 3 months, a new job. Mm-hmm. Okay. And it was always their fault. It was never hers. And she literally one day was on there talking about something and how it was unprofessional. And I was like, you know what's unprofessional? Continuously bitching about every job you have on Facebook.
Yeah.
That's unprofessional.
But that seems to be the time of the trend, too.
Yeah. What's funny is she told me to grow up. I'm like, what? She's like, I wasn't talking about my job. I said, well, when you continuously talk about your jobs on Facebook, one would assume this is about your job.
I will bet she's a subscriber to another podcast.
Whiners of America?
Close. Very close.
All right. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you for being here, Lady J. Thank you so much. We got a few minutes left with Eric B. Mitchell. And Mike's got the microphone. This is not going to be good because he's watching the Vikings game. You look good in that belt. Go ahead, Eddie.
I'm just going to get Loki his own channel and call Loki Watches Sports.
Wouldn't that be fun?
It's just a camera of him watching.
Because, when I watch sports by myself, I'm pretty low-key. I really am.
But are you Loki?
Am I what? No, I'm pretty low-key. Not Loki. I'm low-key.
Yeah.
I love that.
You should never go full Loki.
Right.
It is gorgeous.
All right. Give me the Intercontinental belt. You can't have two. You're fucking fired. We got some comments that says Vikings Nation suck. Vikings suck, Pats Nation. Fuck you, Big Matt. Adam says, Chris, October 22nd,
did you guys lose by the Chiefs by a shit ton?
Yeah, we got to that. He wasn't here for the beginning. Adam says, Chris, October 22nd, my team plays your team. How do I get on your show? Because we all know you're going to be complaining the whole time my team is winning. Adam, I'm going to tell you how.
You guys want to sit
We're going to make it. No, hey, we're going to make it happen, Adam. You know what's going to happen? You're going to be crying. You know why? You guys have been a great dynasty. I've said it the last 3 years on our NFL preview. The dynasty has been great.
Who?
Have you had someone
The Patriots.
Before?
Oh.
Your time is up. My time is now, motherfucker.
Have you ever had
Word life.
anyone ever cried in the show before?
Has anybody ever cried? Only Ed, but we kind of edited that out.
Yeah, okay. I would. You know what? I wouldn't
I
mind
made my
seeing
son
someone
cry
cry in
at
the show.
work.
Nicole says go Broncos. Okay, rock on. You're playing the Chargers. It's a pretty easy win. Even though 3 out of 5 ESPNers said the Chargers were going to win.
I was going to say the Broncos are pretty much about as relevant as a soft taco at this point.
The Broncos and the Cowboys are in the same relevance.
Yeah, as a soft taco.
Yeah.
Like not even like a Supreme with sour cream and tomatoes, just like a regular soft taco.
Right.
Just like cheese, lettuce, and the meat.
Right.
You know what? I kind of.
And by the way, that's a B grade meat, people. That's not even like.
I just had this conversation with someone the other day. How crazy is that? I just had this conversation with someone the other day. Funny enough, someone we work with, Bobby Hill with the beard. And
Oh yes.
I was like, it's 100% beef, but it's not the best beef. Or it's not. It's like that. I'm like, no, motherfucker.
It's like,
the USDA comes in.
It's like grade B, buddy.
Right.
All right, stop.
Let's stop believing all the internet hype, rumor, and innuendo because you're a fucking idiot. I hope he's watching, too. Adam says, again, Viking is playing the Saints. They should be blowing them out of the water. That's not happening. How long are we into this game, Mike?
We're almost halftime. You got to understand, there's some changes going on here. We actually, I don't know why we're running Cook as the running back. He's a rookie, and we got him in there right now. He's kind of dancing back there. Looks like I'm watching Dancing in the Stars with.
By the way, the rookie running back for the
quick.
Bears was fantastic.
Yeah,
although they lost, I want to mention they lost.
I did see the update.
The NFC champions won this weekend.
So real quick, let me ask you guys this.
Go ahead.
Both of you get invited to a breakfast.
Okay.
Right? There's 10 of you, and each one of you can stand in front of the owner of the not named place, which you already named.
Yeah, that was my fault.
And you can tell him whatever the fuck you want.
Okay.
What do you tell him?
I'll let Eric answer this first because mine's not going to be as exciting.
Oh.
I mean, I'll tell you what. First of all,
Yeah, I gotta think about that.
I'm working at my job. I get paid a decent amount. I lucked out after I lost my other job because
I'm stealing all these belts at the end of the day.
I went from being a carpenter to being a mechanic.
I know where you live.
So plus I taught myself how to weld there. There's all kinds of shit that I learned there that's just unprecedented. You know what I'm saying? That I wouldn't have learned if I stayed being a carpenter. So it really worked out for me kind of losing my job. Now, I'm there 10 years now. Now, you say you're at this place for 17 years.
Mm-hmm.
Except for when you had the baby.
Yep.
Right. The mysterious alien baby when you were abducted. We all know about this.
Still waiting on, Walt Disney to be mine.
Yeah.
Disney World,
So,
into the microphone, Eric.
So
I will invite you all to my Disneyland when it's
there
mine.
It goes. So the point being, what do you tell him? After 17 years, he gives you the floor for 15, 20 minutes.
Well, I guess the first thing I would do is thank you for hiring me way back when. And then I don't know.
He didn't hire you.
Well, whoever hired me. Yeah.
That guy actually thought you were the shit.
Yeah.
This guy doesn't know you from a hole in the wall, and that's my point. And that's my point. Like, he has nothing to do with you personally. He doesn't know you from, say, the person down the road that he's doing checks left and right for. So
Yeah.
What do you say to him?
What can you say? I mean, you're going to be mad. You want to tell him, ask him why you're doing this. We were being told that they want to retire. Did you ever think maybe selling the company to someone different?
Right, exactly.
Keeping the company alive. I mean, if it was in a stipulation somewhere because it's a family-owned business that they don't want to sell the company, okay, I understand that. Tell me that.
Touchdown,
And we
Vikings!
got touchdown, the Vikings.
Had to do it. Sorry, Loki is, oh, God.
Tate's Nation now, motherfucker! You said we should be blowing him out?
Fuck the Saints.
Now, baby!
Fuck the Saints, except Lee Bozeman. He gets a pass every time. Oh, he's trying to blow that horn again. And this is why we can't have nice things.
But no,
Okay.
Our house! Who was covering gigs? Nobody!
You see what I have to deal with?
Who that?
Who that think they'll beat those Vikings?
Who that?
Who that?
Who that covering gigs in the end zone? Nobody. Nobody's covering gigs in the end zone.
I don't often cheer for the Vikings, but when I do, they're playing the fucking Saints because I hate the Saints, except Lee Bozeman. He gets a pass every time. And I have to say that 100 times because we have a gentleman's bet.
You know,
in the season.
of course, I was like, you know what? I'm going to let him play to the end of the half and come over here on the show. And they got a score like when I'm trying to be chill over here.
Right? You were doing the right thing.
I was. Look at this.
But guess what's going to happen soon? The half is coming. Top 10 is coming.
I'm
We're
excited.
closing this out right now.
And we got Patreon. If you want to see me freak out live on Patreon, put that money in because
I thought
I
we
think
weren't
they've
doing.
already seen it.
I thought we weren't doing Patreon this week because of the game. That was my. I just thought that out loud. I was like,
we can
fuck
sit
it.
right here, and I could totally.
Now listen,
give you-
we didn't get our requisite Patreon donors, so we're gonna have to.
Next week, by the way.
We may have to scoot
Next
that up
week.
because we have a scheduling problem. I'll talk to you about it off.
You suck.
No,
You suck.
not me. I'm going to be here. I'm here every fucking
I know,
Monday.
but
I'm
every
here
time
early.
I got something cool like this playing. We got something
I got lost.
good.
We're gonna put it off a couple weeks because we have a scheduling problem with one of the people involved, and we're gonna make it awesome.
He
We
trying to
have
get
make it awesome.
Punani again.
No, he's trying to put together the best he can, and Angela's trying to put together the best she can. We're gonna make it the best ever, but we need to make it awesome. We can't just have like here's some bologna and cheese. Fuck it.
Awesome.
No, not like that.
Oh, okay.
All right.
We're just not gonna do.
3 weeks
You guys didn't fucking pony up. www.patreon.com/Loki Jabroni. If you want to see me duct taped to a chair watching a movie I never saw, and
Fuck that gorilla tape.
Yes.
And I'm going to pick
It's
stars on it.
it's at the store we cannot name, although I said their name twice, Benny's, for like $4.99. I will
What?
Yes.
Gorilla tape?
Yes, we've got that.
Thank you, Eric.
I will pick
Smells
up
like diesel.
There, yeah.
How about I donate a few rolls of duct
Dude,
tape,
I-
gorilla tape,
I
to the
love
show?
Done.
tape,
You've
dude.
donated enough. Somebody else
It's
should have
$20
to
bucks
donate.
a roll, people. That's $20 a roll.
We got
Any other place.
$5.99. $5.99.
I know somewhere else you can get gorilla tape.
Fuckloads. Okay, so
I'm sorry. I did interrupt
you're
that.
all set with. You would say what you said to them, and you're good with
Yeah,
that.
I guess so. I mean, I really don't. I mean, it's.
I mean, is the company like I didn't read into it. Are they like in the shits? Or are
Family
they
owned.
actually
No, they're
making
still
money?
they're still making
they're
money.
making, yeah. I would say they're still making money.
So in other words, what they have is lazy kids that are like, "Fuck you!
The next
I
generation,
don't.
yeah.
I don't want anything to do with this fucking thing.
The
I'm going to
kids
keep
are
spending
involved.
your money."
The kids are
it's the
involved.
next generation of kids that
It's
just
the
don't
one
want
below them.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. The millennials are like,
Yeah.
"Fuck you! I just want to
Here we
spend
go.
your money,
Yeah, right.
and I don't want to continue your store."
Mike,
or I want to go somewhere else.
I wouldn't even take the 20 minutes. I would take 5 seconds to ask my question and wait for the stunned silence. Why is your family more important than mine?
That's a good one.
That's it. That's
And
all
that
I
com-
want to know.
And that comes from a guy with a family, whereas I'm a single guy, and I
Bingo.
didn't think that.
Bingo.
What are you talking about? You got 3 beautiful babies right
Wow.
here.
Yeah, right. I'm holding one of them right now.
I'm paying for them like I'm paying for college. You know, gotta
And
pay
he did it. He did it through www.lokiandjabroni.com. Go visit one of our awesome affiliate links like WWE. You can get these freaking great belts. You can also get the network.
Actually, they got
$9.99 a month.
they got a gift card that you can get for the network.
Yes,
too.
you can, but you can't get that through www.lokiandjabroni.com. You only get that at the fucking place you went to, you
Yep.
dirty bastard, cheater,
And
motherfucker.
and you know what though? If you do a SummerSlam thing, maybe I'll donate a 3-month free gift card.
If we do SummerSlam next year, I look forward to that.
I'm sorry, Survivor Series. It's SS.
I got to get in touch with Tim.
Oh,
Tim
Survivor
is,
Series is November. That's one of my favorites.
Yep.
Always love Survivor Series.
Tim Silvestri is currently
I'll do it
starting
here.
the
We'll do it
football
upstairs in the
season.
big TV.
Why not?
Yeah.
Tim is currently doing football season. He's opening the football season. As we all know, we're all watching
supposed
these
to still
games
get
right
back
now.
to me on
He's going to
karaoke.
get back to you. He's seriously, football season at the deck is like
know.
nothing you've ever seen. It's fucking amazing.
Well, that's what I'm trying to give him 2 good days. Could you
Right.
imagine karaoke on Friday and then football on Sunday?
Amazing.
He would be like Scrooge McDuck.
Oh, without question. And now,
I'm just saying, Tim, you ever see Scrooge McDuck swimming through the gold and spitting it like it's water? That could be you, dude. Karaoke on Fridays, football on Sundays.
I'm not gonna lie. I've always wanted to do that Scrooge McDuck swimming to the gold thing.
Me too.
I've always thought about it. I've always thought about it.
DuckTales has always been my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to reach over to my left.
You're left
I'm
to
going to
my
grab.
left.
I'm going to grab my left. I'm going to grab a beer. But before I do that, I'm going to say the most famous words in Loki and Jabroni history, and that is, Eddie, roll that beautiful bean footage.
I'm surprised we don't get sued for that.
I know, right?
I still don't know why I can roll this scroll week after week after week and nobody says anything but fucking Animal Crackers gets whacked all the time.
I know. We're rolling the fucking final countdown.
You know why? Because you have that one.
Not only am I playing the song, I'm playing the video.
We're playing it for 5 minutes. That's
I'm
why.
playing the music video.
Animal
We're playing it for
Crackers.
5
I get
minutes.
hungry
We're playing
after
it
the
for 5
song.
minutes. Okay.
Animal Crackers
So I
is
gotta
public
set this up
domain.
nicely.
But you make me hungry after the song. So if you're not going to give me Animal Crackers, then you can't.
Third and two. Let's go defense. Got to hold this right here.
10-6 right now, Minnesota over New Orleans. If we can get it,
go sit down, Drew Brees.
if we can get him through the top 10 without reacting to the game, I will be.
No, you're good.
Impressed.
You're absolutely
That's a challenge.
good. Here we go.
I'll be
Go for
impressed.
it.
Today's top 10 is brought to you by the fine affiliates of the Loki and Jabroni Show. Make sure you go to lokiandjabroni.com and see one of our very fine affiliate links, such as the WWE
Right here,
store. You can get any of these, and trust me when I say this thing is heavy.
This thing is beautiful.
This is the real shit, kids.
Insane.
Maybe for $5, I'll let you touch it.
Smoking skull. Smoking
The belt.
skull.
I mean, the belt. I got to specify.
Good way. It depends on what the belt is.
No, $5, anything. Just
So
touch
I'm
it.
going to help everybody out. I know, sometimes you sit around and you think to yourself, man, am I cool anymore?
Never was. Oh, that's me. I'm sorry.
Don't care to be. I really don't care.
Pretty
to be.
cool now, dude. You got 3 championship
Right?
belts.
That's what I'm saying.
From www.lokiandjabroni.com
I'll tell you what.
/wrestling.
From somebody that was cool, I think you're cool.
Oh, gee, thanks.
See, so
From
now
someone
you're
who-
cool.
All right.
From someone who never cared if he was cool, you're fucking cool.
Top 10 reasons you know you're not cool anymore.
Stop. Is there a Dallas Cowboys reference in this at
Absolutely
all?
not.
Thank God.
All right.
Absolutely
Heaven
not.
forbid we be labeled as haters.
Suspenders or our glasses?
Yes.
Yes. Number 10, you go cruising the latest yard sales.
Wow.
That just means you're thrifty.
No, it means you're fucking cheap.
I like that one. Number 9, when you Netflix and chill, it's by yourself and you still need a blanket.
Wow.
Ooh.
Or a bunk sock. You
Number
want-
8, your indoor cat gets more ass than you.
Oh, God.
I've warned you before. Warned you before. Don't do that while I got a beard on my lip.
I said before, don't drink beer when I do a top 10
All right.
list, right?
Yep, you got it.
Number 7, you name yourself after a country.
I
Yes,
know a
I'm
few
going to
people
name
like
myself
that.
Alaska.
Okay. See, like China
Yep.
or Captain Britain or...
Captain Britain, for what it's worth, has a great show. He talks about the things that are going on in London and other places. He doesn't berate his audience. I'm just saying, Captain Britain is fucking amazing.
I like Captain
Maybe I should
Britain.
be Mr.
I like his
Connecticut.
pants. I like
Mr.
his
Connecticut?
pants.
Yeah, why not?
Nice.
Number 6, all the cars behind you flash their headlights. Definitely
Okay, I'm kind of guilty of
Yeah.
that. I'm kind of guilty of being that guy at the front of the pack. I'm not doing 90. I'm sorry.
Deal with it.
Maybe I'm not cool anymore.
Actually, you know what, though?
Number
It is fun
5.
to drive slow just to piss people off, too.
Right.
Number 5, grass is something you cut, not cultivate.
Ooh.
How about roll?
Wait a minute. Time out. I've always been a big fan of cutting the lawn. From when I was 8 years old.
And what did you say to him about 2 minutes ago?
I didn't
From
care about
somebody who
being
didn't
cool.
care if they were cool.
I'm saying,
You're not, buddy. You've already made the list 3 times.
if you have the best lawn on the block, everybody looks and goes, "Wow, that's a fucking cool lawn." Done and done.
Actually, if you live in Florida and have a nice, cool lawn,
Number 4, you
good.
call the police on a noisy party instead of just grabbing the 6-pack and going and joining them.
Amen.
okay, I'll give you that one.
Number 3, the pattern of your shorts actually matches the pattern on your couch.
Oh, good, I'm safe.
Oh, sorry, Dad. Right?
Number 2, when your daughter says she got pierced, you look at her ears.
That's a mistake.
Oh, see, this is the life I have to look forward to because I have a daughter. Can I hit the button? I'm going to do it anyway. Horse shit.
Guess what, Daddy? I got something pierced, but it's not my ears.
Yeah, guess what? You're going to a fucking convent.
All right,
We'll
and
squash that
number one, you watch Facebook exclusively for keywords to start drama.
How many people do I know like that? Let me count them. Too many.
I got to have something to do on third shift.
Hashtag keyword triggered.
Triggered. Can we? You know what? For Eric, because he's here.
It's like remember the fembots. Remember the fembots.
The
when
fembot. Yep.
That
Can we
should
have
be
a,
our new triggered fucking?
Can we have a trigger warning for
Can I
Eric
get a trigger
because
warning?
he's here? Seriously.
Could I, please? That'd be awesome.
And here it goes. We got the trigger warning for Eric B. Mitchell.
Well, I'm getting
You
triggered now 'cause
bleep
it's
and
not
bleep
moving yet.
bleep bleep.
With the thing and the
bleep,
stuff,
there
and
it
you
is,
got
there it
30
is.
here for
Yep.
the trigger warning.
There it is. All right, I got a trigger warning.
We're back.
And
And for those of you that needed a trigger for your trigger warning,
oh, God.
fuck you, Saints.
Yeah, I wasn't even involved in that. You see how Eddie was on it. Fuck you, Saints. Fuck you, Saint fan. Fuck you, New Orleans. Except Lee
for-
Bozeman. He gets a pass.
Gotta have
Always.
Lee Bozeman.
Lee,
Not from me.
Well, that's because
Lee, I like you.
Listen, don't trigger Lee.
Fuck New Orleans.
I don't care about any of them. I'm only a Pats fan in the Super Bowl,
Guys, thank you all very much.
especially with
We
Edelman out.
first of all, I wish you both, obviously, everything.
I think we're both going to
because-
land on our feet.
Yeah, I know, absolutely. I know both of you personally. I know how you guys are personally, and it's a tribute to our generation. I don't want to fucking pat anybody on the back, but our generation right here.
Yeah, we.
Yeah.
Barry Horowitz style,
Go ahead,
motherfucker.
go ahead.
Yeah,
There
we
you
work
go,
our
there you
asses
go.
off. We do our
You know what I'm
best.
saying? We really do. And I'll tell you what, for a generation that questioned a lot of shit, we did have answers. And not only did we have answers, but we weren't afraid to go fucking digging and getting our hands dirty.
Right.
And
Yeah.
proving shit wrong. We asked questions, and when the answers weren't there, we went looking for them, and we continue to do that now.
Yeah, I'll say that.
And when the options were exhausted,
We kept digging.
we waited for the dial tone,
That's
and
true.
you got mail.
Yeah, pretty much. I'll give Eddie on that one. We're going to land on our feet because knowing Eric the way I've known him for the last 54 weeks or whatever, just a good guy. He's strong. He moves forward. He's not afraid to tackle something.
He's got to be strong. You walked in with all three of those bad boys on.
Right? These are heavy motherfuckers. He carried all three.
Get my workout.
He did, yeah, he did. He was growing, too.
let's
Maybe
not
I'll
for-
throw a fourth one in
Let's
there,
not
but that's
forget any
later
of
on.
our affiliates. Go to www.lokiandjabroni.com. Check out our affiliates. Let's not forget Sublime Inc., who is always a big supporter of the show. Let's also not forget that every Wednesday, the C&J Speedway Review is hot. And if you don't like racing, but you like our show, just tune in once. You might learn a little something. We're going to get Eddie to watch a race one time, and I'm going to explain to him why.
Into a race.
I'm going to explain to him why road courses are only done twice a year. And I'm saving this for when Ed sits with me in a living room with
only
blueberry beer.
85% of NASCAR drivers can fully get the right
Not
turn
true.
down.
I'll tell you why from a fan perspective.
Should I hit the trigger again?
I'm
You
just
might-
saying
no.
that's why 30% more crashes happen in Road 10.
More crashes happen at Talladega than happen anywhere else.
Because they're
That's an
all
oval.
fucking, yeah. Because
210 miles an hour, I'll buy it. All right, I'll buy it. But
you
please,
give me a car and I get to go 210 miles an hour, and guess what I'm going to do to it?
You
Crash
die.
it.
I'll drive the
I'm going to
pace
crash
car.
that something. I already told my brother.
Tell your friends-
Did I tell you that real quick, guys?
Go
Real
ahead.
quick. The fastest I ever went was 175, and my brother was right next to me, and we were in a Porsche.
Were you on the Autobahn?
Yes, and I thought we were going to die.
Oh.
And not only did I think I was going to die, I'm going 175, and there's a Lamborghini on my ass, and they don't flash you. They hit the direction signal.
Yep.
And that's because when you look in your rear view, that's that saying, hey, move the fuck over. So I moved over, my ass like this fucking
Oh, it
tight.
shook like a motherfucker.
Oh, yeah. And then he goes, "Boom."
My dream.
So he's
is-
going to something easy.
Oh yeah, my
He's-
dream is to get into one of those Rusty Wallace driving experience or Richard Petty driving experience at a big track. And I'm not talking about Dover or New Hampshire. I want to get out there on Daytona, Talladega, Michigan, Atlanta. Oh my God!
You know what?
210.
I'm not a huge fan, but I would love Atlanta.
Atlanta would be
that
badass.
Is a beautiful.
Speaking
course.
of Atlanta, I'm trying to get us, the three of us, if we can save our money, and if you Patreoners can get on the stick to get to the Atlanta Kiss Expo on January 20th, because guys, the man who supposedly saved Kiss is the keynote speaker, the guest of honor. Vinny fucking Vincent is coming out of hiding after 17 years, and he's going to be there. And I haven't had any talks with Tommy Summers. I know the Three Sides guys are going to be there.
I'll go to Atlanta to see a race.
I'd go to Atlanta to see a football game.
I got a family down there, so I can hook us up.
Vinny fucking Vincent, though. You know what I mean?
I know.
You know what I mean?
Out of
You gonna get him on
every
the
kid,
show?
dude, if you're Kiss, and this is just me.
He's
Vinny,
the most enigmatic member.
Vinny, this is me calling you out.
Here's where we get shit
If
on.
you're Kiss, why the fuck do you do the onk? Seriously,
That's
dude.
a Paul Stanley call. Ask
You
him.
can do anything in the world. Anything in the world. And you do the... Am I saying it right? The onk?
The onk, yeah.
The onk, right?
I actually thought that was pretty badass. But there's a picture.
No, dude.
There's a picture that's circulated.
He's got like the white face and then the gold on. That's it.
There's a picture that's circulated of someone who like photoshopped the onk over his eyes and his nose and his mouth, and it looks pretty fucking stellar. But I thought, again, we're going back to
maybe it was the
82.
one that they did it because it looked like it was on
Maybe.
his face. And
Maybe.
I don't know. I
Maybe.
thought out of anything that you could have done in there, I didn't know the whole.
All I know is,
you know what? That would be nice to have.
wait,
God. Hey, Matt, are you watching this? Because you just said
Fucking
that
love
we
it.
should be beating the bejesus out of him, and it looks like going into the half. Which, by the way, Randy Moss
the Ultimate Warrior.
going into the Hall of Honor. Congratulations, Randy.
Randy
fucking
Moss, good job.
You deserve it, baby. You deserve it. And yeah.
Next week, it's about that time.
Yeah, you know
Once
what's fucked
a
up?
month, you know what's fucked up?
I got to go for it. I was really hoping we'd be doing the Kill Bill. I was looking forward to it.
Couple weeks.
But I got you. 3 weeks, right?
3 weeks.
3 weeks?
I'm
Okay,
getting everybody
post
on
that one.
board.
3
3
weeks.
weeks. Eric will be here because,
Okay.
fuck,
Well,
he's bought all these belts
I
from
want to
us.
make sure that I still have the only reason why closing right now is good because I have Tuesdays off.
Yep.
So that way I can continue this. And I know
Same,
during the
same.
Patreon thing, it's going to be, it's going to be going on a little longer. So that being said, I am definitely looking forward to
If
this.
you want to be here for it, if you're a
Not only
Connecticut
that,
resident
I
and
have
you want to be a
habaneros in the
Patreon,
garden right now. They're yellow.
there you go.
Oh, my salsa is going to be fire.
If you're a Patreon donor and you want to be here, if you know someone in Connecticut who should donate to the show, get them on the stick, www.patreon.com/Loki and Jabroni. Donate even $5 a month, $1 a week, whatever you can give.
No, get it.
You
get
can
on,
be
get on
here.
the roll. Get on the roll because we got some cool shit coming.
Yeah, we
Trust
do.
me. I'm almost thinking we might start getting some good shit here and maybe make your own like little Loki and Jabroni box.
All right, I could buy it. Loki Jabroni gift crate or
You'd
whatever
have
they call
to.
that
Yeah,
fucking
you'd
thing.
have to buy it. Well, you'd have to buy it.
How about a Dunk the Box Man?
A dunk the no, I'd waste a paycheck on trying to be at that fucking booth. He's saying no.
And
I think
last
that'd be
but
an
not
awesome
least, I got a
idea.
little special surprise for you guys. The weekend of Halloween, Loki and Jabroni show is tag teaming with Viking Entertainment right here at the Valhalla Complex, Sunday, the 29th. We are having our very own Halloween party.
And I am winning the contest because my costume will beat everybody. Eric knows what it is. It's going to be epic.
Well, we have our other ones going on.
It's the sweet one.
Oh,
We have our other ones going on at the Tokyo
Sushi.
where you're actually going to get real money and shit. However,
I'll win that too.
However, this one, I'm hoping I'm not going to have these, but there's
If
a
Eric
place.
comes,
well,
we will.
But no,
maybe on
no,
loan
no,
for a
no,
day.
no, absolutely. But no, this is for the karaoke
show.
thing. This is for Viking Entertainment.
Okay.
I have a place in New York that actually does belts, and they custom etch them. And I'm going to get the microphones put on and everything, and it's going to be the world karaoke title.
ooh.
And it will be given to somebody that night.
Ooh.
And it's only $50.
Guys, all you gotta do is beat me. That's it.
So
I'm winning this shit.
Patreon donors are automatically invited you're automatically invited to this exclusive
And they
party.
know who they are.
Yes. Anybody else, if you're interested in being part of this party,
Real
you
quick
don't wanna
before
miss
we
it.
go, and I know I'm doing the mic thing now. They're in the red zone and tip. Okay.
Oh.
All right.
Not good.
Crisis
All right, first
averted.
and goal. First
Let's
and
wrap
goal.
it up. Guys, next week, you know what's fucked up. Great top 10 list. Thank you, Eric, for bringing the belts and being
I almost
here.
got the beer spittage once again. You can't drink beer during my top 10.
I
Can't do
know.
it.
Guys, we'll be back next week. We love you. You know what's fucked up is next week, and I promise I will stay out of Florida.
Patreon donors, don't forget 3 weeks. Kill Bill Marathon. We're doing it in style. We're going to pick 2 of you to be here. And if we're waiting 3 weeks, you know it's going to be fucking good.
All right.
We'll see you on Patreon in a few minutes.
And guys, thank you for letting me be on the show again.
Thank you for
We love
being
you.
here,
Oh,
man.
thank you. Awesome.
Here, hold this belt.